Griffin the Griffin by BlackWing. Chapter 61. Viva Las Pegasus.
That was epic!
Gilda screeched once we were back on the ship. Best show I've ever done, Trixie added.
For a bunch of stuck-up high-class ponies, they sure had no trouble losing their high attitude and joining a party,
Steelhorn bellowed in his usual Scottish accent. That was so much fun, Nadine peeped gleefully. When I looked at her, it's almost like seeing Pinkie Pie in cat form. She's just so happy all the time. But I don't mind at all. She's just happy. She's a happy cat. I guess it's because she's finally doing what she always wanted. Having an adventure. She's been super snuggly with Maria, too. Purring and all that. It's like they're a couple of kids. A warm smile made its way onto my face.
Hey, Griff, you alright?
Gilda asked. Yeah, I am. I turned my smile to her.
You sure? I mean, you're smiling instead of your usual scowl.
Yeah, I guess I'm just happy, content. I've got my family. We're going on tour. This is the stuff dreams are made of. We might really pull this off, you know. We got so much momentum, and we just keep picking up steam. As long as we recognize potential problems before they become disastrous, we'll be able to do this. It just makes me feel good, I think. She snuggled up to me and rubbed her head against my neck.
That's good.
And there's Las Pegasus. Now, we did good in Manhattan, but we need to keep the ball rolling. How are we going to get their attention this time? I've performed here once or twice, Trixie cringed. Well, let's just say Ponyville wasn't the first place I was run out of. Here they just have so many performances I went unnoticed. Maybe they forgot about me? Anyway, there are several hotels and such near the Eastern train station, as well as several shopping centers, a few clubs, casinos, and a stage like what was in Manhattan. Train station, central positions, surrounded by everything, open space. I just got a brilliant idea. Listen up. The 10:30 express pulled onto the East Station at Las Pegasus, letting its passengers off. But the ponies in the train cars weren't the only passengers. Oh no. There were also 10 figures. 5 griffins, 2 diamond dogs, a dragon, a unicorn, and a cat, standing on the lead train car as it pulled in. Maniacal laughter filled the air. Sound filled the alleyways, echoing into the hotels, malls, clubs, and casinos. Metal guitar opening played. The ponies poking their heads out of their windows or over some clouds, and others filled the streets, all curious as to where the sound was coming from. The look of shock on their faces was priceless shock as they realized that Griffin the Griffin and his famous crew had rode into town on top of the train and were now holding an impromptu rock concert. News of the show in Manhattan had gone around, and the ponies were far more eager to get into the party animal role, especially since they were the party capital of Equestria. Hooting and whooping rose until the lyrics started. Crazy! But that's how it goes. Millions of people living as foes. Maybe it's not too late to learn how to love and forget how to hate. Mental wounds not healing, lots of bitter shame. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Let's go. I've listened to preachers, I've listened to fools, I've watched all the dropouts who make their own rules. One person conditioned to rule and control. The media sells it, and you live the role. The mental wound still screaming, driving me insane. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. start going wrong for me. You gotta listen to my words, yeah. That's what we become. Inheriting troubles, I'm mentally numb. Crazy, I just cannot bear. I'm living with something that just isn't fair. Mental wounds not healing. Who and what's to blame? I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Ponies cheered, clapping their front hooves together or stomping them on the road. The clamor of their applause was deafening, and I mean it. I've used sound to amplify magic and yelled to the point I'm sure my ears were bleeding. And this was loud. The city that never sleeps. Viva Las Pegasus! Do you know who we are? And why are we here? Whew, it may be fun, but the rockstar life takes way too much out of you. I think we need to do something a little calmer next. Well, what about we hit a club? Trixie suggested. What? Aren't clubs crazy? Clubs here are more like classical and jazz clubs. The entire city is crazy, so the clubs are what's calm instead of it being the other way around. Well, you know any good places? There's always Necktire's place. It's one of the few places I didn't get booed off the stage. All the ponies wear black, listen to bad poetry, and sing depressing music. So that's an emo club? Perfect! Gilda and the rest were still exhausted from the concert, so Trixie and I went alone. We walked up to the door where we saw a bunch of black-wearing, body-piercing, non-cutie mark tattooing ponies walk in through an obscure iron door. If you didn't know it was there, you'd never find it. Just let me do the talking, Trixie instructed as we entered. We were met by a beige unicorn stallion with a tie loosely hanging around his neck over a white shirt. So, left for dead Louise as a pony, and replaced a pill with depression. Hey, Trixie, it's nice to see you again. It's been a while since you came this way. Meh, she replied, realistic looking apathy all over her, and in her voice as well. I quickly adopted her mood. Who's this? Griff, she replied in the same tone. Good, go on in. Trix, what the heck was that all about? I asked her in a whisper. The guy at the door was all perky. It's a trick. He pretends to be all happy, and if the ones trying to get in greet him happily, he kicks them out. A test, really. That's surprisingly clever. Well, it's fine. I got the vibe of this place. Let's see what's going on. 2 hours of extremely strong coffee. We're getting pretty sick of it. The poetry was all bad and the coffee was strong. It was like eating coffee beans, so it was painful to listen to. It was dark, and if it wasn't for my Griffin eyesight, I wouldn't have been able to see anything. I'm not sure how anyone else here could see the cups in front of them. The only reason they could see the stage was because it was the only thing illuminated, with a plain hardwood stage and red curtains barely lit up so they stood out from the shadows. But only just. All you could smell was the bitterness of the world's strongest coffee and a hint of dust. It was all very plain. Trixie, this sucks. Why did you bring me here? Honestly, I don't even know anymore. Really, it was pointless. Everything's pointless, one of the black-clad zombies said, overhearing our conversation. I'm going on stage. What? Are you sure you're ready? You don't want to get us kicked out. Trust me on this one. They won't know what hit them. I'm going to sing what is quite possibly the saddest song ever written. And then I killed my emotions. My face became blank. I walked up to the stage and slowly climbed on. They had begun to close for the night, but seeing one more standing there, the ponies who had been just about to leave sat back down to wait and see. I let it come flowing back. All the times I'd been picked on, the sting of the insults, the pain, the frustration. I'd been holding it back, keeping it in for a very long time. I'd refused to acknowledge it, but now I was letting it back in, letting myself feel the pain. It brought a single tear to my eye, which I wiped away, then steeled myself for what I was about to do. I didn't bother with the spell. I'd sang this song so many times I could do it perfectly. I lazily pointed to a pony at a piano to begin playing a tune. I didn't know how he could do it with hooves, seeing as how keyboards need fingers, but it's just one of those things I don't question. Just how I'm not questioning how he managed to play the song I wanted either. The somber tune played for a bit, before I closed my eyes and began to sing. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. The tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And to feel the way that every child should sit and listen, sit and listen. Went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Look right through me, look right through me. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Enlarge in your world. Mad world. I opened my eyes to find that tears were streaming out of them, and by the glistening in the crowd reflecting from the tiny amount of light coming from the stage, making the darkness look as though it was filled with a multitude of stars, I could tell there wasn't a single dry eye in the house. I gave a sigh and then held the mic out in front of me and dropped it with a thud before I walked out of the place, Trixie close behind. Griff, that was beautiful. Yeah, don't tell anyone, okay? But why? Because I don't want anybody thinking I'm a whiny little bitch. It's been years since I cried properly. I'm always bottling it up, putting it away. And it hurts, Trixie. It hurts so damn much. I get to wondering if I could cut out my own heart. Would the pain stop? I started quaking. Whoa, hey, hold on! She called out as I collapsed in her arms. I stared at her deliriously. Then she pet the crest of my feathers, trying to comfort me. I started having light spasms, and she tried to clock me on the side of the head, lightly, a couple of times to get me to snap out of it. What happened? You collapsed. I think we should get back to the ship. Yeah. I wearily flew back on board, barely able to set myself down on deck before I collapsed again, prompting Trixie to lift me with her magic to put me into bed, where Gilda was waiting, first angry about us taking so long, but on seeing me, concerned. I spent the rest of the night crying into her feathers while she stroked my back, whispering soothing things to try and calm me down. The next morning.
Hey, you okay, Griff? You were really fucked up last night,
She asked, voice full of worry. Yeah, I think I know what happened. I've been holding on to my pain for so long, I let out a little bit of it, and I couldn't handle it. This is Equestria, where things like the magic of friendship and the power of love exist. Here, emotion is synonymous with magic, so when I let myself cry for the first time in years, such powerful sadness, which I refused to let myself feel, I couldn't handle the backlash. Ever get that feeling where you just want to curl up in a ball and die, and then you get sick? She nodded. I think that's what happened. I don't think I can come to terms with my past. I wouldn't be able to survive it.
Griff, you're a dumbass. If you ever need someone to talk to, you can always come to me.
She wrapped me in a tight hug, then folded her wings around me, the top of my head against her chin.
I love you, and I always will be there for you, just like you'll always be there for me. You're so strong, and when I see you like this, it scares me. You don't have to carry the weight yourself. Let me carry it with you.
How long we stayed like that, I don't know. Minutes felt like seconds, seconds felt like hours, and hours felt like minutes. Pretty soon, Maria called everyone up for breakfast, so I dried my eyes and got my head screwed on straight, put on my game face, and was ready to lead my family again. Gilda was tired from having taken care of me all night, so she opted to go back to bed. Gilda? Thanks.